Panther Nation, Ropp Star Gang, what up, what up, what up, what up? What up, what up? How's everyone doing? We are live, and welcome to today's episode of the Ropp Star Report. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. If you're new here, well, my name's Clay Ropp, and this is the Ropp Star Report, and this is the place to be if you want NFL content and Carolina Panthers content. That is what I post week in and week out, daily content. So appreciate that. Also on the TikTok, hashtag RoppStar92 _. I also post on there all the time. I do a lot more NFL takes on there. I do my weekly picks, power rankings, and I also post that on here as well, which I will get to later on this week. But I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button as you're coming in. Show your support. If you're watching over on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube channel and come show your support over here. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got people already in the chat. We're going to talk more about the Trevor Lawrence thing, if he's playing or not. Right now, it's uncertain, but we'll talk about that. First things first, how are we feeling, guys? Obviously I'm disappointed in the loss. I'm not happy about that Green Bay Packers loss. I think the refs gave it up for us. Again, I talked about it. Bryce had a great game, but there's room for improvement. Again, I need to see this kind of performance week out. Now, obviously I'm not expecting the kid to have 300 yards every game, but here on out, we got some I wouldn't say easy defenses. I mean, I'm not saying every game's going to be easy. Obviously, we see that week in and week out, but, my expectations are not higher. I am looking for more for improvement, right? So the deep ball accuracy, the footwork, the pocket presence, all that continue to show me that you can do that, Bryce. And we'll talk more about that. So as we go throughout today's show, also, shout out to our sponsorship of BetUS.com. The link is down in the description. Promo code. You can use Pantherology because this show used to be called Pantherology, right? But the promo code's still Pantherology. I haven't got the promo code yet. If you sign up for free today on BetUS, you get 125% bonus on your first bet, plus an extra 25% if you use my promo code. So go check it out. The link tree is down below for all my links to join the Discord and all my social media, so you can go check it out. So how are we feeling, guys? Because for me, I'm a little bit optimistic, but I'm also going to be realistic too. With everything. And there's some Panthers news and updates that I wanted to talk about here. Thielen has been enthusiastic after that. He's been kind of coming out and saying some things in the midst of that defeat against the Packers. And we all know that Adam Thielen couldn't help but be, I guess you could say the word is gush about Bryce's performance. And the veteran wideout, right, is feeling the rookie quarterback's vibe a little bit. And he's foreseeing a bright future. He's come out and said that. Thielen is a crucial part of Young's development, I think, so far this season, right? And he's on track to really have 1,000-yard season and has some festive cheer to, this Panthers offense. And we'll see as time goes on and throughout these next two games. The odds and ends against the Jaguars right now, we are +7 underdogs. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a less than thrilling affair because the over-under right now, guys, is at 38.5 points. And despite those odds, I hope that it springs some internal for the Panthers fans and is ready to deliver. If you go, this live event hopefully is ready to deliver every catch of this game that we watch this Sunday. Now, there's the Ben Johnson conundrum, guys. The coaching carousel spin. Eyes are on Ben Johnson, as we all know, as the next potential head candidate for that head coaching job here in Carolina. David Tepper has this bold strategy that he aims to really woe Johnson, right? And bring that offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions on over for that top job here in Carolina. Now, again, it all depends on certain things, right? It all depends on certain things here. And I'm maneuvering some stuff around here, guys. Give me 1 second. I need to move y'all over there so I can see the chat. All right. I need to move this over here. Perfect. There we go. Now I can see you guys a little bit better. All right. Perfect. And then we got this over here. Perfect. 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 Now, we all know that with the whole Ben Johnson thing, because that has been the top guy in this pecking order, while, Tepper has to open up that checkbook, and the key might be to relinquish some control, sweeten the deal. Now, Johnson's in high demand. We all know that, guys. And the Panthers have made him priority number one, putting all their chips on the table for this guy. Another thing is young swagger. Bryce Young obviously was the spotlight in week 16, showcasing growth, precision against the Packers. While deep throw accuracy might need some fine tuning again, that's something I've been talking about. But Young's acknowledgement of the unit's collective effort and the desire to continue the growth bodes well for the Panthers, right? And the rookie quarterback is now eyeing those Jaguars as another canvas to paint a statement game, build on that momentum for a strong finish to the season, because we're wrapping up this year and it's going to come to an end here sooner than we think. The narrative continues to unfold from, Thielen's holiday cheer to Johnson's high stake pursuit, and then Young's involving swagger. The stage is set for an intriguing finale for this Panthers team. So just some quick news and updates on that. Let's talk about this Panthers and Lamar Jackson dilemma. All right. Was it a hindsight or a strategic master stroke? Right. That's the title I'm using. Now, the Panthers US came out, right? They came out with an article, and it, we all know that where Lamar Jackson's down-ceiling performance has everyone questioning that the Panthers goof up by not pursuing him. That's something that this article was talking about. That's why it brings this topic up today for us, because Jackson, the NFL Christmas star, led the Ravens to a stunning win over those 49ers, leaving critics pointing fingers at teams that passed up on the 26-year-old quarterback last spring. And yes, the Panthers caught some heat during Jackson's holiday magic, but did Carolina really fumble the ball on this one? And it's not as simple as it seems when it comes to this topic here, because sure, Jackson is now an MVP contender, and the Panthers are 2-3 with a rookie quarterback. However, back in March, when Jackson became an available player, right, the Panthers were already making moves. They thought they had a 3-way deal, right? We all heard the story about getting a top quarterback spot, gearing up for either Young or CJ Stroud. So why did we choose a rookie over an MVP? Because at the end of the day, we all know it's all about the money in the NFL. Franchise quarterbacks on rookie deals free up cash for about 5 years, right? So providing a window to build a stronger team, which we obviously didn't do, and Tepper Fitterer only embraced this strategy, because let's not forget, the Panthers were just one game shy of that NFC South title last year. And they had more than a quarterback-shaped hole to fill. Overhauling the offense, securing long-term pillars like Burns and Brown were also on the agenda. But hey, Baltimore had a trump card. Even if Jackson went elsewhere, the Ravens could match any deal and keep him, right? The Panthers were eyeing their risk, have it all approach. Might not have seen snagging Jackson as the silver bullet in 2023. So why fans indulge in this high site of debates? For me, the Panthers might just be playing that strategic long game, right? The bigger picture, the long-term approach, where the MVP isn't always the winning card sometimes. What if Jackson fit in this offense? I don't know, right? We'll never know that. We will never know that. But would we rather have Lamar Jackson here? I would say 90 to 100% everybody would agree that we would much rather have Lamar Jackson here than we would have with Bryce Young. But the world may never know, right? The world may never know. Anthony Brown, what's up? Marcos Cash is in here greeting everybody. I appreciate that, Marcos. You're doing such a hell of a job as my handler of the chat. And, Marcos Cash said it best. Don't forget to wipe your paws off on that like button on your way in and on your way out. All right. Let's move on to the next topic. All right. Let's talk about who the Jacksonville Jaguars are. And we got some other things to talk about because, again, we are gearing up, right? We're gearing up for this New Year's Eve clash against Jacksonville. And it's more than just a football game, in my opinion, because you're facing off against the Jaguars. You're fresh off a close loss with the Green Bay Packers. We're in a 4-game, and the Packers were in a 4-game slump, right? And let's dive a little bit deeper into these Jacksonville Jaguars and what they bring to the table, right? So first thing first, this matchup may be a tad green because having only occurred 7 times since 1996, but the sparks will fly when these cats collide, all right? It's the battle of the cats, all right? The Panthers boast a 4-3 record overall again, but beware the road. They were a stand slightly of a wobbly 1-2. So from a trip down memory lane, let's explore the series here. And it's like a football time capsule a little bit, right? Going through that. First things first, we've got the quarterback conundrum there in Jacksonville, right? Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy since 2021. He's nursing that sprained right shoulder that threatens his chance to start on Sunday. So will he make that return, or is the stage set for CJ Berthhead? Now, the suspense is built and adding that kind of like that systematic twist to this gridiron saga, guys. Okay. Now, Trevor Lawrence's December injury escapades include an ankle shuffle, a dance with a concussion protocol, and now a shoulder shrug. Talk about a December to remember for this kid, right? I mean, if Lawrence takes a breather, Berthhead gets the mic, right? And in this recent cameo against the Buccaneers, he played the quarterback conductor. He orchestrated 11 for 14 for 95 yards and a touchdown. Now, can he transform a backup role into a leading man performance? I don't think so. Again, they've got some offensive stars, though. You got Travis Etienne there. You got Calvin Ridley there. Once the offensive trailblazers, they're facing a December chill right now. Etienne's ground game has hit a bit of a snag here. His averages are dropping faster than that New Year's Eve countdown right now. Let's be honest. And meanwhile, Ridley, the off-season gem that everybody was talking about, who I expected to come out and show, even though I took a year off, I still got it. And his experience has shown. Now, there have been a few fireworks in recent games, but can they reignite that offensive spark, or will the Panthers catch a break? Again, right now, the uncertainty of Trevor Lawrence, again, we don't know. I don't think we'll know until it might be a game time decision for him. But meet Josh Allen, a defensive maestro, or is he going to be a New Year's nightmare? Because not Josh Allen, the quarterback, guys. We're talking about Josh Allen, the guy who wreaks havoc back there in that linebacker core for the Jaguars. He has 13 and a half sacks on the season. He is a pass rushing Picasso. He's painting chaos in the opposing backfields. Now, despite the recent struggles, Allen remains a force to be reckoned with. Let's not forget about that. Teams like us need to, in that passing predicament, will be staring down the barrel of a Josh Allen-shaped cannon. And in this game where these cats collide, Lawrence shoulder holds the script, And that defensive domino of Josh Allen lurks in the shadows. So I think this is going to be a promising New Year's spectacle. I'm not predicting anything right now. I will be doing a little bit more diver deep into a preview and prediction video later on this week. So make sure you tune in for that. But if Trevor Lawrence is not playing, this defense needs to step up, unlike they did against the Packers, and they need to step up and take care of business, stopping the run and chasing down CJ Berthed. Or if it is Trevor Lawrence, chase him down, right? It's going to be interesting, all right? But can Bryce continue, just like Marcos Cash is saying here in the chat? Well, I was talking about Lamar Jackson, obviously, not drafting Lamar, signing Lamar. That was what I was talking about. It's time for Bryce to step up, back-to-back good games. Can he do it? I don't think so. I wouldn't be mad if he can prove me wrong. Exactly. And Marcos, I appreciate that comment. Can he do it? We don't know. I'm hoping so. I'm not expecting him to go out there though, Marcos, and throw for 300 yards. If he can give me 250 yards, I'm good with that. 250, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Let's continue that no interception streak, right? Let's continue that. Can this wide receiver room continue on the momentum as well, right? Marcos, can those wide receivers continue to get open? That's the question. Can DJ Chark continue to get open? Can Mingo step up and have a better game? Is Smith-Marsette going to be that hidden gem in this next game, right? Can Chuba Hubbard continue that ground game? Can the offensive line continue to help Bryce's growth, right? That is the things that we have to, talk about. And we'll get more into that later on throughout the week as we're preparing up for this game. And it's only time will tell. Only time will tell. Right? Only time will tell. Toxic Black's in here. What's up, Toxic? What's up, Toxic? Hey, Toxic, is Atlanta going to go after Jaden Daniels? Is that who they're going to go for in the draft? That's my question to you, my friend. We got a Falcons guy in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's talk about some guys, though. We're talking about that momentum, right? We were just talking about it. Panthers progress, 3 players with momentum right now. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Tommy Tremble, because this was in a season marked by uncertainty. Tommy Tremble, let's be honest, guys, has emerged as a beacon of promise. The tight end's athleticism in the passing game, he's great in the blocking aspects of things, and we cannot let that go unnoticed, okay? With consistent flashes of brilliance, Tremble is just making a case for extended involvement in 2024. So if he maintains this level of performance in the final games, he might just be a breakout candidate that the Panthers have been waiting for, especially in that tight end position. DJ Chark, can he continue to catching that confidence, right? DJ Chark's journey in Carolina started with high expectation, but it took time for the receiver to find his rhythm. And the recent games, however, tell really a different story, because Chark's exceptional grab in challenging weather, we saw that. A stellar performance against the Packers showcased a newfound confidence and explosiveness that we've been looking for. If he remains with this momentum, cutting him loose might not be as straightforward as a decision once thought. But again, the world may never know. We will find out this Sunday if DJ Chark can continue that. Now, let's talk about Bryce Young, okay? All right. Talk about a guy that's been under scrutiny for how long, right? Ever since he's got here. And now has weathered criticism with resilience. Now, in recent games, we have seen a transformed Bryce Young, executing confidence behind an improved offensive line, and playmakers are making a difference. And the last 2 outcomes could arguably be his best in the professional arena. And can he continue that? While obviously there is some cautious optimism here, okay? Young's recent upturn hints a potential franchise presence under center. Can he continue that? as this season closes, Young's future looks bright. Provide the right decisions are made in this offseason, because in this unpredictable world of football, these players are scripted their own narratives. And as for us, the Panthers have to navigate these final games in 2023, whether it's Tommy Tremble's promise, it's Shark's resurgence, or it's Bryce Young quarterback evolution. There's a newfound sense of optimism in the air a little bit. But again, that loss in Green Bay does not bode well with me still. Okay. And I'm not happy about it. Okay. I'm not happy about Pinheiro missing 2 extra points. I'm not happy about the Panthers defense not stepping up and stopping the run and forcing Jordan Love turnovers, which they should have. But as these curtains fall, as this time goes on here, there's an intriguing offseason hopefully to come, and maybe some potential head-turning decisions are on the horizon here in Carolina. And only time will tell, guys. Only time will tell. But we got to be patient. We got to be patient. All right. Let's talk about Ejiro Evero encore here. This is another topic I wanted to bring up today. The defensive maestro stays resilient and amid turbulence. Okay. Marcos is saying Trimble, ISM, and Hubbard could be also some breakout candidates there as well. I've been seeing on the mock draft that we get Jaden Daniels. Yeah. Maybe if we have time today, as we get through these topics, maybe we'll do a Carolina Panthers mock draft. So let's bring this up here. Okay. Evero, this has been a season filled with drama, quarterback conundrum. But Evero really, for me, has stand out as the maestro of the Carolina Panthers resilience, because in the midst of offensive struggles and ever-changing coaching landscape, Evero's leadership shines through, in my opinion. Okay. Because Evero's journey echoes a familiar refrain, a seasoned defensive coordinator, right? He faced a coaching change and offensive struggles with the Denver Broncos just last year. Now in Charlotte, the parallels are uncanny, let's be honest, because despite this team's 2-13 record, Evero remains steadfast, drawing inspiration from the belief that the preparation that he has put together will overcome the adversity of what's going on here in Carolina. Now, the defensive haven, while offensive has plagued this team, right? The defensive unit has stood firm, except in the last game. And consistency has been the hallmark of the defensive staff, a testament to Evero's leadership. Now, despite the recent hiccups against Green Bay, the defense is ranked 5th in total defense, and that remains a silver lining in a challenging season. Now, Evero's head coaching prospects is something we need to talk about, because as this coaching carousel looms, Evero is expected to draw a head coaching interest. Okay. He's a 42-year-old defensive guru under contract with the Panthers for the next year. He has proven his medley despite this team's struggles. And then owner David Tepper, aiming for that offensive expertise, might consider a pairing with Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who also are represented by the same agency, if you did not know that. So the Panthers, right? The players of the Panthers, the endorsement that they're bringing here, the Panthers players are praising this man, emphasizing his ability to lead immense adversity. Now, defensive back Troy Hill, a 4-season companion that's been with Evero in Los Angeles, he attests to his relatability and the high standards he demands. And despite the challenges that Evero has gone through this season, he has been a coaching maximum. The standard is the standard, and that resonates in this locker room. Now, let's talk about the resilience amidst challenges with him. Okay, the Panthers defense have preserved very well despite injuries and setbacks. But Evero has been so good at the resilience that he brings, the emphasis on maintaining those standards that have kept this team focused, even as they face a demoralizing losses. Now, the players acknowledge the toll of the season and commend Evero for fostering a spirit of resilience and readiness to tackle this next opponent. So the eye on the future is looking ahead with that Evero remains focused on the immediate task ahead, downplaying head coaching thoughts for now. But with the defense poised to finish in the top 5, I mean, Evero's optimism during the OTAs seems justified. And the Panthers defenders predict a head coaching role for Evero, emphasizing not if, but when that may be. So as the Panthers approach the season's conclusion, Evero's encore in the coaching realm may be on the horizon for this guy. All right. This is an unpredictable world of the NFL. And with challenges abound, Evero stands resolute. He's guided this defense with a steady hand. The defensive master is not weathering the storm. He's orchestrating resilience and setting the standard for what might be a bright coaching future for this man, whether it's here or unless he decides to take a head coaching elsewhere. Evero will be the coach of the Chargers next year. Interesting, Marcos. Very interesting. It's a hot. That's a take for sure. I could see it. I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense. But do they want? Here's the thing: do the Chargers want a defensive-minded guy, or do they want to go the offensive route as well? Right? Because of the Justin Herbert, the Austin Eckler, the Keenan Allen, the Mike Williams, the Quentin Johnson, the Gerald Everett, right over there. You know what I mean? That offense speaks volumes with talent like that, right? The defense needs help. It sure does over there in LA. The defense definitely needs help. Because, again, over there in LA, though, I feel like, for me, I feel like that the offense is more intriguing. But with a Derwin James, you got a Khalil Mack who's I think the sack leader. Maybe he might not be. He might not be. But you never know. Let's talk about something else that I really wanted to bring up in today's channel. In today's show. And again, I appreciate everyone that's joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button. Get in the comment section as we're going through these topics. I really appreciate everyone being here. And we're on the road to 5K, guys, and we are so close. It's not even funny. We are so close to 5,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate every one of y'all that showed the support here in this channel, who comes in and joins the live stream. I just try to keep it real over here, and I try to speak facts for you guys, and I try to make it as fun as possible with you guys. So I really appreciate everyone joining the live stream today. So let's talk about this. Under the spotlight, there is a little bit of a Panthers dilemma as Bryce Young shines. Okay. As Bryce Young shines. Okay. And let's talk about his resurgence first off, because this has been a season of struggles for this kid. And he finally showcased some qualities of a franchise quarterback with his first 300-yard game against Green Bay. So, though it ending in a narrow defeat, there's still some promise step forward for the rookie of this season after this struggling of a season. But can it continue? And then here's another thing. Tepper's crucial role, the billionaire owner has to find himself at the forefront of a pivotal decisions here, because the spotlight intensifies as fans, as us, players alike, anticipate the right moves to really get this team built around Bryce Young, right? Wide receiver DJ Chark is optimistic about Young's future. He's mentioned that multiple times. The emphasis that they need for consistent support improvements is the urgency of the situation here in Carolina. Now, the Ben Johnson factor, right? Now, we all know that the report interest in Ben Johnson adds a layer of intriguement here, right? Johnson is known for play calling, right? His quarterback development skills, right? Could be the linchpin in maximizing Young's potential. Now, as the Panthers look for a coaching staff capable of elevating Young's game, Johnson emerges as that coveted candidate like we were talking about before. So bringing a quarterback background, a progressive philosophies to the table could be what this team needs. Now, let's talk about the uncertainty of Scott Fitter. We all know that Tepper's decisions have been under scrutiny. In the future, the general manager, Scott Fitter, hangs in the balance because with no assurance about his postseason fate, the Panthers face the possibility of a reset in key leadership positions. And so the urgency to get things right around Bryce Young adds a complexity to the decisions awaiting this organization. So the imperative here is build around Bryce Young because, again, that's all we can do at this point. As Young, now, we know that Young has displayed promise, and there is some belief there. Again, the imperative is clear. Surround him with tools for success. Okay. Anything less, okay, would be a disservice to the quarterback who entered the franchise with significant promise. But the looming decision is if he was mishandled. Could mark one of the biggest personnel flaws in franchise history. Like I said, that trade for Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore going from 9-1 could go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history if Bryce Young does not pan out. So, in the world of the NFL and the football decisions made here in Carolina, the Panthers have found themselves again at these crossroads. And we find ourselves at these crossroads because we've done mock drafts on this channel. And it's hard because even though Young momentum demands a strategic and thoughtful approach, really emphasizing the need for stability around the promising quarterback, the spotlight is on. And the Panthers' choices in the coming months after the season is over with is what's going to shape up the narrative for the seasons to come. So we're in a little bit of a dilemma, guys. We're in a little bit of a dilemma. Matt Chatter, what's up? Appreciate you joining the live stream, brother. Hope you're doing well. Marcos Cash, what? Like 2 weeks ago, you were at 37. Now you're at 445. Damn, Clay, you're on fire. I know, man. I don't know what's going on. I wish we could get more people here in the live streams, though. Seems like more people like the edited videos and the shorts, but it's all good. I'm going to continue doing these live streams. I just enjoy them more. I enjoy speaking with you guys. I enjoy speaking to you guys in the chat, stuff like that. So there is some time left here, guys. Let's do a mock draft. Let me get it up. You know what? Let's try this one again. Actually, let's try a new one. Let's try a new one. Let's try a new one. Let's try this NFL Buzz. Yeah, me too. Me too, man. All right, let's get into it. Now, this one's going to be different because all these drafts are different, right? Yeah, they love the shorts, man. The attention span is not as big, right, when it comes to the longer live streams like this. Their attention span is for them to really just hear what they want to hear and go through it, right? Panthers are so intriguing. I mean, it is because of all the turmoil and all the drama that this season has brought to us. What's up, Panther Raider X? Appreciate you joining the live stream. Not as intriguing as Falcons fans. Interesting. All right, let's start the draft. Now, I can do trades, but we might just do a regular draft today. So, Chicago's off the board. I do not like this draft. No, I don't like this one. Let's try this one again. This was the one we did the other day. Let's do this one instead because this one actually like forces trades. And I think we did standard last time. All right, let's enter the draft room. And all right, we're all good to go. Slow, everything's good. Let's enter the draft room. Let's get started. Jaden Daniels. I'm starting to think that all right, guys. So let's go through this real quick. So let's look at the wide receivers available. We got Xavier Worthy, we got Xavier Legette, and we got Troy Franklin still here. Okay. Now, interior offensive lineman, you got Graham Barton. Outside, we've got Kingsley. And we got Jordan Morgan. You know how I feel about this offensive line? Again, how many of y'all believe, though, in this chat right now, that it makes more sense for us to draft an offensive tackle here and bring in like a Jordan Morgan and move Icky to left guard? Do y'all believe in that? Brandon Graham is solid. Again, he is solid. Okay? If the Saints beat the Bucks and y'all beat them, that's the only way. I know. It's intriguing. Can Baker Mayfield toxic? Can make Baker Mayfield down there in Tampa continue that? So for me, guys, I like the Graham pick, but again, Jordan Morgan has just been that guy for me. Jordan Morgan just shows the agile, the sideline to sideline movement as a left tackle. Again, we're killing two birds with one stone here with taking a starting left tackle like Jordan Morgan because you're moving Icky to the inside. I've been on this kick for how long, and I truly believe in that. I think that we can get some wide receivers here in this because, again, there are going to be trades thrown our way through this draft process. Now, again, I'm surprised we haven't got hit with one yet here. But I think that we got to go with Jordan Morgan here. Or do we take the route and go ahead and get that wide receiver? See, for me, again, Xavier Worthy, Xavier Legette, Troy Franklin, I'm all high on these guys as well. Yeah, I don't think Barton's going to be there in the third, brother. I don't think Barton's going to be there in the third. But is someone I like. Yeah, I got him in my top 10 for sure. I got Xavier Legette in my top 10. I got Troy Franklin in my top 10 as well. But for me, I just feel like we have to still build this offensive line. We need to fix the offensive line. Okay. Yeah, they're playing good right now, but again, can that momentum continue? So let's start with Jordan Morgan. I think that that's the right pick to go there. And we'll see if we get any trades as we go through this draft, because there are offers always on the table. Yeah, I'm very high on them too, Panther Raider X. Damn, so Saints or Bucks winning the South? It's close. I think the Bucks are the better. I think the Bucks are the better team. I think the Saints could steal it, but I think that right now, can Baker Mayfield continue that progress? I don't know. That's a decent trade. I only go back one position, and then I get a 7th round pick. I'm going to reject it, and I'm going to reject that as well. So this is now where I go ahead, and I got it. Again, there's still some wide receivers here. Malachi Corley is a stud, man. I like Malachi Corley as well. I'm going to go with Malachi. Now we got that wide receiver position. We still got some interior here, which I'll be looking at next. We'll see if we get any trade proposals as we continue through this draft. I still think I like the PFF one a little bit better, though, guys. I think I like the PFF one just a little bit better. No. Yeah, I know. Still got some defensive line talent here. We've already set ourselves up, but again, Jackson Powers Johnson, man, he's a top center in this draft. He's going to be a franchise center as his career goes on. He's one of those guys like Van Pran, who I think is going to be a stud. And you know how Bradley Bozeman's been. He's kind of fallen off a cliff a little bit. For me, I got to go with Jackson Powers Johnson here. If we got time, we'll do another one, and we'll do it on a different simulator. But let's see if we get... I wonder if we'll get any trade backs here as we go through on, because... yeah, he's not Panther Raider X. He's not moving the needle for me. So we basically have fixed our offensive line for the most part. I could go for another right. I could go for a right guard position. That's interesting. I get an extra 6. Do I move back? Do I move back is the question. I say yeah. And I'm going to take... I'm going to take that one. And there's still some guys here. I'm rejecting those. So the interior, I'm good there. Defensive line, Shamar Turner. Maybe bring in an edge like Zion. Gabriel Murphy's nice. I like him there as well. But then the running backs, we still got some guys here. Dylan LeBeau, I think is how you pronounce his name, LeBay. A workhorse of a running back. But the wide receiver positions, you got Jacob Cowing, who's not bad. Ananias Smith, quick wide receiver, great in the slot. You got Malik Washington, who I think could be a great, a deep threat kind of guy. But the defensive line does need some help. Keith Randolph Jr. wouldn't be a bad pick. The corner room definitely needs some help. Kamal Hayden, Jason Marshall, Shadarian Jones, all are nice picks here. Tight end position, we got Jaheim Bell. I think I'm going to rock Jaheim Bell here. We need to bring in an extra tight end help, even though I feel like with what Tommy Trimble's putting on display, Steven Sullivan is stepping up. I still think that bringing in some more competition there, push these guys a little bit forward would be nice. I'm rejecting all of these. Yeah, I'm rejecting all of these. So I'm going to reject all of those. I think I'm going to rock Keith Randolph Jr. here. Bring some in that interior help on the defensive line. And obviously, we still have all of our players because we haven't made any player trades. So we still have the roster that we got. Yeah, I'm rejecting all those. And then I'm going to go back to the wide receiver position here. I think this is something that we need to look for. Trey Harris is still there, down there as well. I could wait. I do like Malik Washington. I think I'm going to rock Malik Washington, bring in another wide receiver. Now, again, this is not including what's going to go on in free agency because we don't know what's going to go on in free agency and how they're going to do this, right? So, assuming they don't go wide receiver in any of the free agency, we got two right here. We got a big deep threat guy, Malik Washington, who's a big wide receiver. He's kind of like a DJ Chark, but except, obviously younger. He's got the talent. But then you get a Malachi Corley, quick, fast wide receiver, explosive off the line, great route running skills. He can put some guys on skates. I've seen it. And he can go up and get it as well. He's a guy that can go up and get the ball. That's what you like to see out of some of these wide receivers. But you look at this draft, and we've plugged the holes on the offensive line for the most part, besides maybe the right guard position. We've got the wide receivers now. We got an extra tight end. We've helped out on the defensive line. Do we skip running backs here? I'm going to say I think so. We could go for another edge rusher here. But for me, what I want to do is I want to look at some corners here. And Tony Grimes speaks out to me the most. Problem is with Tony Grimes, he's a little handsy. Okay? He gets a little handsy. He's almost kind of like the J.C. Horn style of play. He gets a little handsy, but he's a ball hawk. He's got great hips. He's explosive off the line, great backpedaling. He's got the footwork. I think this guy kind of helps out in that room, right? Because depending on what they do here in that cornerback room, whether they get rid of Dante Jackson, move on from him, or, they brought in Shaquille Griffin. I don't know if he'll still be here. I don't know if CJ Henderson's still going to be here, right? Is Dante Jackson still going to be here? Because are we going to take that $15.8 million in cap? So I'm going to bring in some corner help. And there's our draft. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see what the draft ended up being like in the first round. So it shows the Bears went Fashanu, Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals, Joe Alt to Washington. Drake May to the Patriots. Neighbors to New York. Bowers to the Chargers. Aduzier to the Titans. Caleb Williams to the Bears here. Then it says J.C. Latham from Alabama to the Jets in this draft. Then it says Dallas Turner, edge rusher, Jared Verse, sorry. Kool-Aid McKinstry, Nate Wiggins, Jerzon Newton, Cooper DeJohn, I cannot pronounce his last name, or his first name. Robinson, edge rusher out of Penn State. Fawage out of Oregon State. King Coleman, okay. Bo Nix there to Seattle. Emeka Buka to Jacksonville. Mims to LA. Another corner to the Bills, Lister. Fantanu to the Chiefs. Brian Thomas to the Cowboys. JT Tuamaliolu, I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably botching it. Out of Ohio State. Jaden Daniels to the Lions. That doesn't make sense to me. Latu to the Dolphins. Kitchens to the Eagles. Kalen King to San Fran, and Adonia Mitchell. All right. Let's try another different simulator. Let's try a different simulator here. Let's try this one over here. Let's use the Pro Football Network. Do one more. Okay, Drake May. Caleb Williams is off the board. Now, guys, do we want to make trades in this? Because I can propose a trade. Do we want to do that? Do we want to make this a trade one or rock with what we got? Let's just see how. Let's rock with what we got. Let's see how this one goes. Okay. Neighbors to Patriots. Bowers to the Giants. J.C. Latham to the Chargers. Fashanu to the Titans. Dallas Turner. Joe Alt. Jaden Daniels. Okay. Keon Coleman. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Teron Arnold. Latu to Denver. Cooper DeJohn to Minnesota. Chop Robinson to the Cardinals. Fawage to the Steelers. Newton. Oh, that's a trade there. These are trades with the circle. Lots of trades going on in this one. Jared Verse. Brian Thomas. Denzel Burke. Rome Aduzier. Kingsley. Tyleek Williams. Cameron Kitchens. Marius Mims. Yeah, there's a lots of trades in this one. Adonia Mitchell. Kalen King. Graham Burton. Okay, they're trying to give they want for their 45th pick. They're trying to give us. I would not do that. What's the other one? No. Reject. No, I'm rejecting that. All right. Offensive tackle, Jordan Morgan still there. Offensive guard, you got Troy Fanatu. You got Cedric Van Pran there. We got Jatavion Sanders here, wide receiver. We got Lad Monkey, and we got Emeka Buka, Xavier Legette, Troy Franklin. So there's still a lot of good wide receivers here in this position. My boy Graham Barton, the Ravens question mark. Yeah, that was an interesting. Yeah, they went with offensive guard there. I don't like Jaden Daniels to Atlanta. Did not mean to press enter on that one. Oh, you're good. No worries. So I think that now we're going to switch it up because I went offensive guard last time. I went offensive tackle last time. I mean, I still want to do it because of the fact that, you kill two birds with one stone. But you know what? Here's the thing that I could do. I could propose a trade to the Saints like they just did to me. Or I could propose a trade to the Patriots here. And I could give them the 30 this. And if they give me 35th, I get the 33rd. Does anybody else? Do they have an extra third round? Who's got an extra second round pick here? Washington does. I wonder if I could get Washington to give me their 36 and 41 and trade back. Let's see if they do. Let's see if they go for it. Okay, so they didn't go for it. So for me, guys, I'm all about speed. And Emeka Buka and Xavier Legette both have speed. Patriots, do they have an extra second in this? Who's got extra second round picks? Nobody besides in this. Green Bay does. Let's see if I can get Green Bay. I'm just gonna try. All right. I like Emeka Buka. I like Xavier Legette. So for me, what I'm gonna do is then I'm gonna go with the speed here, but I do want a big playmaker, and I think Xavier Legette's gonna give me that. So I'm gonna rock Xavier Legette on this one. So we got Lad Monkey off the board. Bo Nix is off the board. Troy Fanatu's off the board. Tavondre Sweat's off the board. Xavier Worthy's off the board. Travion Henderson's off the board. Cedric Van Pran's off the board. Jalen Ford's off the board. Rod Moore's off the board. Emeka Buka is off the board. Michael Penix is off the board. We got the Saints going after Cooper Beebe. Quinn Ewers. JT Talamalu, Tyler Nubin, Kenyon Mitchell, Leonard Taylor, Troy Franklin's off the board. Jordan Morgan's gone. Brandon Dorless is off. Braylon Trice is off. Donovan Jackson's off. Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me a little bit because didn't they go? Yeah. Well, we'll see what we got here. I'm rejecting that too. These are some tough trades they're giving us here. So Christian Haynes is there. Zach Frazier, Jackson Patterson. Okay, so the best pick that we got from an offensive standpoint for that tackle position is definitely Tyler Guyton. Christian Haynes. I do not like this one. Let's go with PFF, man. I'd rather rock with them, guys. Let's rock with PFF. I just don't like. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. This is how I'm going to, you know what? Cyburn, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. All right, so let's just do this one. And I'm going to make some trades. So this is how we're going to do it. First off, let's put this at slow. Enter draft. Let's go ahead and select a player. I know that Brian Burns wants to be here, and I understand that. But you're either going to trade him or you're going to sign him. So here's the thing. You don't have a first-round pick. Let's just say we keep him. But there is guys here we can trade away. All right. So we'll stay with it. We'll stay with this now. I really want to trade him though because I feel like it needs to be done. And a team that's going to be interested in him is going to be either the Broncos, okay, a team like that, the Bucks, but I'm not trading within our thing. The Broncos, I'm okay with trading them Brian Burns. You know what? We'll keep Burns out of this one. We'll trade other players. Now, mock drafts are never perfect, man. They're never perfect. All right, so I made up my mind. We're going to make this draft as if we keep Brian Burns. So Marvin Harrison's off the board. Drake May. Rams, question mark, possibly. But I'm just going to keep it as is. And I'll make trade. We'll keep Burns in this draft. We'll make other trades with other players. I plan on trying to trade. Probably going to try to trade Hurst, D-Jack, Chen, and probably Terrace Marshall Jr. Those are my guys that I'll be looking to trade. All right. I mean, possibly. But we're going to do this mock draft as if, because I've done multiple with Brian Burns being traded. So this one I'm doing without Brian Burns being traded. Yeah, I mean, possibly Panther Raider X. All right. Y'all persuading me now. Y'all have persuaded me now. I'm sorry. Y'all have persuaded me now. Y'all have done it. Y'all have persuaded me to trade Brian Burns. Let's go with the Broncos. Let's go for that 14th. Let's see if we can get a second and a third. A first and a third. I'd love to go that. Okay. No. All right. We got the 14th pick. We got the 14th pick. Caleb Williams off the board. Marvin Harrison's off the board. Drake May. Hold on. Randomness. Here. That's what I need to fix. That's what I need to fix. Okay, sorry. Now let's do this again. Sorry. I had to do it again because that is ridiculous. All right, there we go. All right. So who went off the board? Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison, Drake May, Fashanu, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Joe Alt, Liatu, Newton, Roma Duzier, Chop Robinson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jaden McDaniels. Now, here's the thing. We just traded away Birds. Now, do we go after an edge rusher here? I would say no. If we're going to go offensive tackle, we need to go after a guy like Fuagu, J.C. Latham, those kinds of guys right there. All right. Now, if we look at these guys, let's see if they've got their stats up. Now, Fuagu's a right tackle. Could you transition him to left tackle? Sure. But we don't need a right tackle. J.C. Latham is not a guy that you want either. All these guys are right tackles here. Graham, left tackle, could be a guy to go after here, right? You got Troy Fuatananu that you could possibly get in the second round. But we also need to look at the wide receiver positions. So now, because we can get an edge rusher at the end. Now, they've got Devontae Walker now all the way up here. You got Brian Thomas. Roma Duzier's off the board. Damn, they got Xavier Legette that far down too. Okay. Devontae Walker, Brian Thomas. I like Brian Thomas. Devontae Walker, I like as well. Troy Franklin's nice. What about interior? Let's look at interior first. All right, nobody's there. Quarterbacks, you got Bo Nix, all that. Nothing I'm going for there. We're going to go a different route. Well, thank you, sir. I'd go wide receiver, offense guard. I'm going to go wide receiver here. I like Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, but I also like Troy Franklin. You know, I haven't taken him yet, but I think Brian Thomas here at 14 is not a bad pick. But Troy Franklin is nice. I mean, he's just good all around. I'm going to go Troy Franklin here. They might give me a bad grade on that. Let's see if any offensive tackles stay up. We'll see if they do. Fuagu's gone, so that's a right tackle off the board. Really, I'm trying to focus. J.C. Latham, okay, is off the board. Okay. Devontae Walker, Brian Thomas. Mims is off the board. Probably Panther Raider X. I did last year. Cameron Kitchens. JT Tomalalu. All right. Now let's look at the offensive line now. So we got Troy, Jordan, and I always get, and then Patrick Paul's also good at left tackle. He's very good. They got Jordan Morgan here, and he's good as well. Troy, gap grades. The thing is this guy's gap grade's bad. I mean, I think Jordan Morgan's the better one here. I mean, Patrick Paul could be a possibility. Guard. Really, it's going to get down to these guys later on. Could I go back-to-back wide receiver here, get a Mecca Buka? Sure. But I just don't I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a different route. Not go with Jordan Morgan. We'll go with Troy Fanatu. And we're going to put him at the left tackle and move Icky over. Now we've killed two birds with one stone. Next up this is where the trades start coming into play for me. I'm going to try to trade Jeremy Chin here for a third-round pick. And I might even see if I can get Dante Jackson for a third-round pick as well. I doubt it, but we'll see. It all depends on how this falls. Now, PFF, I feel like is more realistic than any of the other ones, but that's just me. I can't believe Xavier Legette fell that far down. Technically, he is. But you can trade him. And we could trade him beforehand. Let's see if nope. Let's see if the Giants want him. Let's see. Defensive back. Maybe the Raiders? Nope. All right, the Steelers. Nope. Okay, let's try. Where's Jacksonville? 86. Nope. Rams? Nope. See if we can get a back end one here. Oh, Green Bay. $88. Nope. Maybe the Browns. 91. No. Trying to see here who we could trade him for. Maybe the Bills. No. So we're not getting anything for him. So we'll hold on to it. All right, let's draft a player here. So now we've gotten Troy Franklin and Troy Fanatu. This is where it gets interesting because this is where I want to build the offensive line still. Now, again, do I want to go inside guard? Do I take an edge rusher here? No. Now, let's see if I can get D-Jack for a third. Nope. Let's try those same teams again. Nope. 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 They would do it for that. Nope. Yeah, they would do it for the 166. So we'll wait till we get into the 4th round. See if we can get something. All right. So let's look at the interior here, guys. I'm going to go with Jackson Powers Johnson. Great run blocking. You get the pass blocker. He's great in the gap. He's great on every level at the center position. He's also played some right guard in his day. I think Jackson Powers Johnson here is a great pick. So now we built the offensive line up. Now let's see if we can trade any of these guys that I've been talking about for any picks in the next coming rounds. Let's see if I can get D-Jack for a 5th. Let's see if I can get Jeremy Chin for a 4th. Let's see if I can get Hurst for maybe another 5th. Maybe another 6th. Now, we're doing this mock draft, guys, just so you understand here real quick, is I'm doing this as like, let's say this is a rebuilding mock draft, right? We're rebuilding this team. Now, again, also, I need an edge rusher. I need to also get a corner and a defensive lineman. So as we're going through this, once we get into the 4th round, 5th round, I'm going to try to make trades. Now, when it comes to these mock drafts, I look at the team's needs. If I'm able to make that trade with them, I'm going to do so. Guys, as you're coming in, also, make sure you pound that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. See if we can get anything going on here. All right, we're almost in the 4th round. So we've got 101, 114. And I'm not going to try to trade within our division, obviously. I don't want to trade with them. I don't want to trade within. So let's try Jeremy Chin here. And it says Washington's willing to accept this trade. Let's see if they'll take D-Jack as well. Just to check. We want to save that cap space. So they're not willing to accept that. But they're willing to accept Jeremy Chin. So we'll offer this trade. So, trade again. I'm going to try to see if I can get D-Jack on another level here. All right. And we're going to go with... Let's see. The Chargers, maybe. For their 106. No. Not Atlanta. I know I said I wasn't going to trade within our thing, but Washington, it's not that big of a deal. Cowboys, no. Maybe. All right. So I was able to make some trades there. And now I can go ahead and start drafting again. So we've got wide receiver, offensive line, and all the wide receivers have gone off the board basically here. So we've already built the offensive line up. Let's look at the tight end position. AJ Barner's there. We've got the 101 pick here. The value for AJ Barner is not there for me right now. So this is where I think we got to go defensive line. And McKinley Jackson is a nice piece right there. So we build in that interior. Now we get a nice, I don't like him as much. I like Kyrie Jackson a lot better. So I'm going to hold off on that. Let's see what edge rushers we have available. Marshawn Kinley's there, who I like. His value is very good. Muhammad Kamar is another good one. Shamar Turner. Antoine Powell. Ryland's another good one. All these guys right here, very, very good. They're all in my top 5 on my draft board. So we have to replace the pass rush. And for the value, I got to go Marshawn Kinley here. So now we replace the pass rush. We also bring in some depth at that defensive line. But there are still some wide receivers still available here, so we can still get, and we've got enough draft capital to help us out. Now, I might be able to get an extra 5th round pick or 6th to build this team up a little bit more. All right, so we actually have another 4th here, so I might not even make any more trades. We still got some guys here, man. When's the last time we've had a decent linebacker, though? I like Junior Colson. That's just who it is for me. I also like Tommy Inberg as well. Colson's better on the run. Tommy's better in the pass coverage. I'm going to rock with Tommy Inchberg here. Now we build the linebacker up. Then we've got the 129 and the 138th pick in the 5th round. So now I'm going to go corner wide receiver as we get there. Unless Cooper Beebe's there. Somehow, if Cooper Beebe's here at that 129th pick, I might even take him to build that offensive line up a little bit more, bring in some right guard help. I think Cooper Beebe's still down there. Still got some wide receivers here. Still got some good tight ends. I'm going to rock with Kyrie Jackson here and get that corner help. Because now we have the first pick in the 5th round. But I'm going to try to make an extra trade here. And this is what I'm going to do. Let's see. See if I can get Hayden Hurst. Who needs a tight end? Okay. Well, there we go. Now I've got that extra 5th round pick. I'm going to go wide receiver here. Theo Weiss. Solid. I like Trey Harris, though. Cooper Beebe still there. Theo Johnson's there, who I like as well. This is tough because now it's gotten a little bit harder with the wide receiver positions, the tight end positions. We could go back-to-back corners here. Or we could bring in another edge rusher. This is interesting to me because I could bring in another edge rusher as well. There's a lot of still good talent here. You just got to make the right one. I like Trey Harris. Ugh. Could go Max Melton and bring in another corner. I think we bring in another corner in. So I'm going to rock Max Melton here. Because we still got 4 picks left. And with the trades we make. Now. I like Cooper Beebe, man. I'm rocking Cooper Beebe here. Now I fixed the right guard position too. So now the next 3 picks, I'm going to go wide receiver, tight end, because I still think some of these guys are going to fall. So far, I think it's been a solid draft. I think that we built up the corner position. We brought more depth there. We built the offensive lineup. We've got Troy Franklin at wide receiver as well. We built up the linebacker core. We brought in a guy who's great in the pass coverage, who's a middle linebacker type of guy. You bring in another edge rusher who's top 10 on my board. You got the center position. You got the left tackle position. You move Icky to the inside. Now we've got the corner depth to help us. We got fresh legs in there. And I'm going to rock with Mr. Machine Muhammad III and bring him home like his dad. So far, this has been a solid draft in my opinion, guys. We'll see what PFF grade gives us. I'm going to predict like a B+. I feel like we got this. Sound off in the chat what you like so far. And I've only made 4 trades in this one. Now let's go look at the tight end position. I like Ben Sinnott. I think he would be a great piece. So I'm going to bring him in. And then we get that tight end position. And now let's finish it up. We're going to turbocharge this up a little bit here. There we go. And we're going to get that last piece. I like Robert Lewis, but I'm going to go with the running back position here. Actually, I'm not, because I don't really like all these guys here as much as I thought I might. How is this Zion Tupelo-Fetu still down here? We could bring in another safety. Could go another wide receiver. Bring in Robert Lewis out of Georgia State. Because I don't think Laviska Shenault's going to be here next year. I think this is where I just go a value pick at the end here. So I'm just going to take the value pick of Robert Lewis. So I got a C+, a C+, a B-, a B-, a B+. We got these trades. I traded for a first and a fourth. I got an extra fourth here. Linebacker got a C, but A-, B+, comes out to a B-. But again, with Troy Franklin, gives you that piece, that explosive wide receiver piece that we were looking for. You get the left tackle in the second round. You move Icky to the inside. You get Jackson Powers-Johnson, your franchise center there in the third. You get McKinley Jackson helping on the inside. You bring in another edge rusher, Marshawn Kinley, who is a top 15 edge rusher in this draft. We traded away Jeremy Chin to get an extra fourth, right? We got that 103. We build the linebacker position with Tommy Inchberg. We get the corners that we need. We get Kyrie Jackson, Maxim Melton, both locked. Kyrie's a lockdown guy. He can be. Max Melton, again, a ball hawk, another guy that gets a little touchy. His hip movement's a little bit off, but he is something that he can develop. Cooper Beebe, great right guard. You build up that right guard position now. And now you've got the offensive line set. You got the cornerback room set. You got the depth in the defensive line now because Nick Thurman has stepped up, right? You get your edge rusher back. So add to that, bring back that pass rush. You get a linebacker who's great in pass coverage is what we need in the middle there. And then you get Muhsin Muhammad. You bring him home. You get a stout tight end, great at blocking, but is also a possession threat as well. Big vertical guy, kind of like a Tommy Trimble. And then you get a Robert Lewis, who's just a value pick there at the end. I like the draft. It'll depend on what we decide with Icky at left tackle. Personally, I think it's too early in his career to move him from left tackle to guard, but I understand the logic behind it. Yeah. So this was more of my logical draft. So it's just a different route. It's something that I've been working on. These draft simulators are very hard to really get a perfect draft, and none of these drafts are always going to be perfect, but I try to make it as logical as possible when it comes to it, because you trade Jeremy Chin, right? You trade, first off, let's talk about the Burns trade in that mock draft, right? In the mock draft that we did, we traded Burns for a first and a fourth. Right, I was hoping to get a third, but I got a fourth out of it. Okay, I probably could have gotten a third out of it, but it didn't seem like the Broncos were willing to budge on that. But then you get an extra draft pick in Jeremy Chin trade because you need to get. You're not using him, so you might as well trade him and get some draft capital out of him. Dante Jackson, we traded him away because guess what? We saved $15.8 million in cap space, right? And you build up the corner room with the 2 picks of Max Melton, Kyrie Jackson in this mock draft, right? Kyrie Jackson, who I think can be a lockdown guy. Max Melton, who's a little handsy, needs to work on his hips a little bit, but is a solid player overall. You get Cooper Beebe, who's a great right guard, even though they gave him a C. If you go look up his PFF grading, he's great in the pass blocking and the run game. Okay. So, and then we traded it for an extra 5th pick with tight end Hayden Hurst, right? You get an extra 5th pick out of Hurst because we're not using him. Tommy Trimble and Sullivan step up, but we ended up being able to get a Bennett Sennett who's like a Tommy Trimble, a great blocker, but can be a possession threat, a vertical threat as well. You bring Muhsin Muhammad home to add to that wide receiver core, and you get Robert Lewis, who's also a solid wide receiver and can be a developmental talent. I just took him there in the last pick because it was a value pick. So that's why I went with him there, even though we went with 3 wide receivers. Because, again, Terrace Marshall probably won't be here. I don't even know. We don't know if DJ Chark's going to be here. We don't know if Adam Thielen's going to be here, right? Because obviously Chark's finding momentum, but we don't know if he's going to be here, right? Unless it's on a 1-year deal. They're not going to sign him for any longer, I don't think. They might extend him for another year, as long as the production's still there. But you still got Mingo, right? Chenault might not still be here because the ISM is probably still going to be here because of what he brings to the table. He still has more of that versatility, I feel like, than Chenault does, and he stays healthy. Now, obviously, because they've started using him more. So that's why we went with that. And then but then, if we look at this roster now with this draft, I mean, we really, and, with the linebacker that we did get out of Tommy Inchberg, you get a guy who's great on so many levels, but he's better at pass coverage. And I feel like we need that there in that linebacker position, who probably can learn a lot from Shaq Thompson because we know he's going to be here as well. So that's a mentorship that could come into bringing up a guy and developing him into a great linebacker. So overall, I know it gave me a B-. I think it's a B+ draft, but it all worked out. It's a logical draft, though. Then we're obviously going off these mock drafts without the free agents moves. So we'll see. We will see what the free agency brings. We'll see what the new GM and the new coach brings, because I have a feeling Scott Fitter won't be here, and whatever head coach we decide to bring in as the next head coach, they're going to be making those decisions at the end of the day. So again, guys, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Also, feel free to join the Discord down below. The link tree is down below with all my social media as well that you can follow me at, that I'm very active on. And also, don't forget about our sponsorship of BetUS. Sign up for free to bet today. You get 125% bonus on your first bet. And guys, as always, I'll see y'all tomorrow. And y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.